Why many Chinese entrepreneurs excel in business, a deep dive into culture, history, and economic behavior introduction. When people observe global business trends, one pattern often stands out. Chinese entrepreneurs and Chinese diaspora communities have achieved remarkable success in trade, manufacturing, retail, real estate, and technology-driven commerce across Asia and the world. From small family-run shops to multinational corporations, Chinese business networks are widely present in cities such as Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, New York, London, and Phnom Penh. But the key question is not simply, are Chinese people good at business? A more accurate and meaningful question is, what historical, cultural, and structural factors have shaped strong entrepreneurial behavior among many Chinese communities? This article explores those factors in depth. 1. A long history of commerce and trade. One of the most important foundations is history. China has one of the world's oldest continuous civilizations, and for centuries, commerce played a central role in society. Traditional trade, culture even. During imperial times, despite Confucian's social hierarchy placing scholars above merchants, trade was still essential. Silk Road trade routes connected China to Central Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Coastal trade flourished through ports like Guangzhou and Fujian. Merchant guilds developed early systems of trust, credit, and partnership. Over time, these systems built a strong foundation for long-distance trade thinking, negotiation skills, resource coordination, risk-taking in commerce. The role of overseas Chinese diaspora. One of the most important modern economic forces is the Chinese diaspora. Millions of Chinese migrated over the past 200 years due to economic hardship, political instability, search for opportunity abroad. They settled in Southeast Asia, North America, Europe, and beyond. Why this matters economically, diaspora communities often built family businesses, trading companies, supply chain networks, regional import-export systems. A key advantage was network-based cooperation, where trust within family and regional ties helped reduce business risk. This created what economists often call ethnic network capitalism, strong informal business connections across countries. Strong family business culture. In many Chinese communities, business is often a family-centered system rather than an individual pursuit. Key characteristics. Parents involve children in business. Early skills are passed down through generations. Families pool capital together. Trust is built internally rather than externally. This structure creates several advantages: lower hiring and trust costs, faster decision-making, strong reinvestment of profits, high survival rate for small businesses. Instead of relying heavily on outside investors, many businesses grow organically within the family system. 4. High value placed on education and discipline. Another major factor is cultural emphasis on education discipline. Long-term planning, historically influenced by Confucian philosophy, success is often associated with hard work, self-improvement. Respect for hierarchy and learning. This mindset translates into business behavior, strong numerical and analytical skills, persistence in competitive markets, willingness to delay short-term consumption for long-term gain. Adaptability in competitive environments. Many Chinese entrepreneurs historically operated in highly competitive environments, especially in small retail markets, manufacturing hubs, urban migration zones. This created a survival-driven business mindset. Low profit margins are accepted initially. Rapid adaptation to customer demand is essential. Flexibility is more important than rigid planning. As a result, many businesses become highly efficient, cost-optimized, market-responsives. Focus on cash flow and reinvestment. A common feature in many Chinese-run businesses is a strong focus on cash flow stability, fast inventory turnover, reinvestment of profits. Instead of prioritizing luxury spending early, many entrepreneurs reinvest earnings into expansion. Open additional branches. Expand supply chains. This compounding approach leads to long-term growth. 7. Informal trust networks. Guanxi. One of the most discussed concepts is Guanxi. Guanxi relationships, and trust networks. In business terms, this means deals are often based on trust and reputation. Long-term relationships matter, more than one-time transactions. Business partnerships are maintained socially as well as economically. This system reduces transaction costs, legal dependency, negotiation friction, but it also requires strong social responsibility and reputation. Management. 8. Entrepreneurial response to limited early opportunities. In many regions, early Chinese migrant communities did not always have access to government jobs, corporate employment, formal financial systems, so they built their own opportunities. Grocery stores, restaurants, small trading businesses, import-export operations. This necessity-driven entrepreneurship created a culture of self-reliance and opportunity creation. 9. Manufacturing and supply chain. Strength in the modern era, especially since the late 20th century, China became a global manufacturing hub. This led to massive industrial experience, understanding of production systems, strong logistics and supplier networks. Entrepreneurs who grew within this environment learned how to scale production quickly, how to reduce costs efficiently, how global trade systems work. This advantage extends to Chinese entrepreneurs worldwide. 10. Risk management and conservative expansion. Many successful Chinese businesses follow a pattern of starting small, testing markets, carefully expanding only when stable. This reduces failure rates. Unlike high-risk, high-burn startup models, many businesses follow survive first, grow second, dominate later. This conservative but steady strategy often leads to long-term stability. Community-based capital formation. In many cases, early capital does not come from banks, but from family savings. Community lending, rotating credit associations. This system allows faster startup formation, reduced dependency on formal finance, strong internal accountability. It also reinforces community trust. 12. Globalization and opportunity. Timing. Chinese entrepreneurship also benefited from timing. Global trade expansion in the late 20th century, rise of manufacturing outsourcing, growth of emerging Asian economies, digital commerce in the 21st century. Many Chinese entrepreneurs were positioned at the center of these shifts. 13. Important misconceptions. It is important to avoid oversimplification. Not all Chinese individuals are entrepreneurs. Not all success is cultural, and business success exists in all cultures worldwide. Success depends on environment, opportunity, education, policy systems, individual effort. This topic is about patterns, not destiny. Conclusion. The strong presence of Chinese entrepreneurs in global business is the result of a combination of factors: long historical trade experience, strong family business systems, diaspora networking across countries, education and discipline, values adaptability in competitive environments, reinvestment-driven growth strategies, cultural emphasis on relationships and trust. Together, these elements form a powerful ecosystem that encourages entrepreneurship and long-term economic thinking. But ultimately, business success is universal and can be achieved by any individual who develops the right skills, discipline, and opportunity awareness.